welcome back. I know, more not gameplay? Nonsense. If you're here, I would hope you saw part 1. If not, go watch part 1. Thank you all for showing up. We are going to start off where we left off last time with number 20, polar bears. Now these guys may look all cute and cuddly, but a lot like they are in real life, these things are aggressive and quite deadly. I would know, I'm Canadian. Now these fellas can be real feisty when you come across them in your Minecraft world, but considering they're just little guys and only attack when with child, I wouldn't necessarily call them annoying. Don't get me wrong, if you don't run, they will piece you up, but they are kinda cute. These guys do 6 damage per hit, so if you are out in the cold and see a mama bear, I would watch your back. When slaughtered, the bear drops 1 to 2 cod. I'm not sure what your reasons would be to kill this mob, but to each their own, I guess. I like bears, they scare me, but I remember being really excited when these fellas were added to the game, so they definitely get points for coolness. Also for being good parents. Icy biomes are indeed a bit rare, so polar bears are in turn not so common to come across. I like this mob, so I'd give it like an 8.7 out of 10. Number 21, Ravagers. Man, I can never quite figure out what these things are supposed to look like. They almost look like gorillas with illager faces. What a weird mob. Now, saying you can only find these guys in raids, they aren't a casual annoyance. When you see them though, they are, fast. They attack by biting, apparently? That's kinda strange. Interestingly enough, they attack players, villagers, wandering traders, and iron golems. When they chomp down on a poor soul, they do 12 damage. Ouch. When you finally slay this weird dog bear illager thing, they drop saddles, which is actually quite handy. I would definitely not describe this oversized mosquito as cool. Horrifying, maybe, but not cool. You only find these big old fellas in raids, so they aren't that rare. I give them a 4 out of 10. Number 22, shulkers. I also remember when these were added to Minecraft. I was very confused as to what they were when I I burned my house down. But anyway, in the end, they're as useful as they are annoying. As much as the flying effect thing can be handy, it is also mildly terrifying. So, negative points for making me take ungodly fall damage. Also, the ball things that give you the effect do 4 damage. When killed, these strange cube dudes drop something called a shulker shell, something that comes in very handy for transporting large amounts of blocks, objects, and such, because they're used to make shulker boxes. These things are low-key kinda cool. They remind me of Rubik's Cubes, and they always look pissed off, and I kinda love it. They are pretty rare since they're only found in end cities, which generate at the edge of 0x8 chunks at 0 to 128 blocks, so they are kinda hard to find. Once you do though, I highly recommend killing them for their shells. Usually I wouldn't condone the killing of shelled animals, but I will make an exception for these. They get a 9 out of 10. I know that's high, but I like these things and they're annoying, but very useful. Number 23, silverfish. Now I'll be honest, I genuinely did not know silverfish were a real life insect until like last year, but shh, we don't talk about that. Anyway, these things are indeed a nuisance, to me at least. The last thing I want while mining or preparing to enter the end is to be bombarded by wiggly bugs. They attack by biting, they do half a heart, and attacking them makes more spawn. Perfect mix. These things don't drop anything except XP, so thanks man. Their design is kinda weird. They kinda look like maggots. No offense, but like, you're weird looking, dude. They aren't exactly rare, but you only find them underground and in woodland mountains, so I give these funky critters like a 2 out of 10. Number 24, Jack Skellington. Skeletons drive me mildly insane. Speaking of aimbot, what the hell? Quit sniping me, I'm just trying to build here. Per hit they do 3 to 4 damage, and I have found myself dying to these dudes more times than I care to admit. They drop 0 to 2 bones, 0 to 2 arrows, and they have an 8.5% chance of dropping the bow. I would say I do indeed like the design of skeletons. Could just be me, but every time I see them it strikes fear deep within my bones. I think skeletons are cool. In the overworld, they spawn at a light level of 0, and they're incredibly not rare, as you can see by the many arrows lodged into my forehead. I rate these guys a 5.5 out of 10. Number 25. On the topic of skeletons, I also decided to rate Skeleton Horseman, just for fun. Now, the mob itself isn't really annoying, it's quite cool to find, actually. Killing the skeletons is a wee pain, but the horses are hella cool to keep around. Gives Headless Horseman vibes. The horse doesn't do any damage, and actually is a passive mob, but whatever. When the skeleton is killed, it might drop all the usual stuff, its equipment. When the horse is killed, why would you kill the horse? It drops 0 to 2 bones. They are quite rare as they only have a 0.75 to 1.5% chance of spawning during a thunderstorm. I rate them a 9.5 out of 10 because they're really cool, and also don't try to kill me. Number 26, slime. This mob here, even though they don't like me, I find them really cute. They aren't really annoying at all since they're really slow, unlike magma cubes which seem to have the power of the sun on their side. If you manage to be slow enough to get hit by a slime, the big guys do 4 damage, the medium guys do 2, the little ones do none at all. They drop slime balls, which are useful in a number of crafting recipes like pistons, slime blocks, etc. I wouldn't really call these things cool, but I do find them really cute, as previously stated. Slimes are somewhat rare because they only generate in certain chunks called slime chunks, and they only spawn 50% of the time if the conditions are to their standards. They're picky. Therefore, they are not found too often. I rate these 8.7 out of 10 because they are dumb and silly. Number 27, spiders. Now, I may have a mildly controversial opinion on these. Although I'd scream if I saw one in real life, I don't really mind them in Minecraft. They are passive during the day unless you attack them, and they are hostile at night or below level 11. And typically when I see them, they aren't bugging me, so I don't find them all that bad. When they do decide to be abusive, though, they do 2 damage by chomping. They drop 0 to 2 string and 0 to 1 spider eye. I think spiders are a little cooler than cave spiders, I guess. They're bigger, so yeah. They're not really rare at all. They spawn at light level 0. I'd rate them like a 5 out of 10. Neutral. Number 28, strays. I think strays might be one of the more forgotten mobs in the game. Hell, sometimes I forget variants of the skeleton even exist. A lot like regular skeletons, they attack by arrows. However, their arrows do give you the slowness effect, which is pretty annoying in my opinion. They do 3 to 5 damage with the slowness arrows. They can drop 0 to 2 bones, 0 to 2 arrows, and 0 to 1 slowness arrows. These dudes are pretty interesting. I like that they wear clothes unlike the average Joe skeleton. These guys have some class and dignity. Like the polar bears, these guys only spawn in icy biomes, so they're pretty rare. I'd rate them like a 5.7 out of 10. Number 29, Vex. I do not like these things. They phase through blocks and have the most microscopic hitbox. It is genuinely unfair, bro. For some reason, they also have iron swords, as if that wasn't enough. They are summoned by evokers. Per hit, they do 9 damage, even if they have no sword. So my strategy with fighting these is usually, run away. They drop nothing but XP. Fairly recently, the design of Vex was changed to match the design of Allays, so that's kind of cool. I do miss the old design of it, though. Considering these guys don't spawn throughout the world naturally and can only be summoned by evokers whom are found at woodland mansions and raids, they are fairly rare. I give them like a 3.5 out of 10 because why does this thing fly and go through walls? I swear this game hates me. Number 30, Vindicators. Now these guys look to me a lot like butlers, which I find kind of cool. They are passive towards animals, but an interesting little fact about these is if you get a name tag and name them Johnny, they will attack any mob around them, excluding evokers, pillagers, other vindicators, and ghasts, as well as baby villagers. When they attack players, they typically attack with an axe and do 13 damage. Without an axe, they do 5. When killed, they drop several useful items such as 0 to 1 emeralds, and they have an 8.5% chance of dropping their axe. And if they are equipped with an ominous banner, they will drop that too. Like I said, I quite like the design of Vindicators. They remind me of the butler from Batman. They look very, British. Like most illagers, these fellows are found in raids and woodland mansions, so they aren't that rare. I rate them like a 7.4 out of 10 because they are very well dressed. Number 31, the Warden. Now, me being the scaredy cat I am, I have never encountered the Warden, like, ever. They terrify me. I wouldn't say that they're particularly annoying because, a lot like the Ender Dragon, they are just a mob that exists in select locations. Not necessarily annoying, just tricky to evade. If their design wasn't spooky enough, they have the highest melee attack in the game, being 30 damage by swinging their arms. Their other attack is called Sonic Boom, and it does 10 damage. If you somehow manage to slay the strange fungus man, it drops, one single object called a Skulk Catalyst. What does it do? Not much. This thing is totally cool, like horrifying, but I find it really cool. It has an exposed ribcage type thing and is completely blind and seeks out mobs by their super hearing and sniffing. They remind me of Granny in a weird way, like the game. These mobs are indeed quite rare, as they are only found within deep dark biomes and must be summoned. Deep dark biomes themselves are not too easy to find. They generate below Y level -51, commonly under mountainous terrain. Although I think they're pretty cool, I'd give Wardens a rating like a 4.6 out of 10 because they drop literally nothing cool or useful. Skull Catalyst can be harvested, like you literally have no reason to battle the Warden, whatever. Number 32, Witches. As you may know, I have beef with witches. I hate the noises they make, and they're really annoying to kill since they have regeneration potions. Just die, like it's not that deep. Witch huts do come with really cute black cats though, so they get some points for that. These dudes damage by throwing potions of poison, which are also very annoying to me. They can throw splash potions of harming, which do 6 damage, or splash potions of poison, which give the poison effect for 45 seconds. Better find yourself some milk. Witches can drop a stick, a bottle, glowstone dust, redstone dust, gunpowder, a spider eye, or sugar. I do not think this mob is very cool. I do like their design, but they also drive me insane. They get a 3 out of 10. Number 33. The Wither. These also scare me. No shot, really. They're quite difficult to kill, but they are indeed an achievement. When first summoned, they explode, doing 68 damage if you are too close, and their Wither Skull attack does 8 damage and grants you the Wither effect for 10 seconds. When killed, this 3-headed floating skeleton drops 1 single nether star, typically used to craft beacons. I think these things are actually quite cool. I remember the first time I ever killed one, I was very, very, very excited. They are quite rare, because they don't spawn naturally and you have to summon them, like a snow golem. To summon them, you need to place 4 soul sand in a T shape, and you need to place 3 wither skeleton heads on top of the T. The most difficult part of this process is finding the wither skeleton heads, since they only have a drop rate of 2.5%, and you need 3 of them, so good luck. I give this mob a solid 8.2 out of 10. Number 34. Speaking of wither skeleton heads, the wither skeleton. These are mildly less annoying than regular skeletons. They sport stone swords and do 8 damage plus the wither effect for 10 seconds. And unarmed they do 2 damage plus the same wither effect. They can drop 0 to 2 bones, a single bit of coal. Oh boy. And as you know, they have a 2.5% chance of dropping their head. They also have an 8.5% chance of dropping the sword. I find these mobs kind of interesting. They're almost the same as skeletons, except they're black and a little bit taller, and also hold swords, not bows. Considering they can't hit me from a range, they get bonus points. These guys only spawn at nether fortresses, and those are really hard to find, so in turn they are a pretty rare mob. I award wither skeletons a 6.4 out of 10. Number 36. Zoglins. Zoglins are the same as hoglins, except they are classified as an undead mob, like zombified piglins, or pigmen. Zoglins are created when the mob Hoglin enters the overworlds through a nether portal. They do 3 to 8 damage, they drop 1 to 3 rotten flesh, so honestly they aren't too useful at all. I guess a zombified pig is kinda cool, so points for that. These fellas don't spawn naturally, so they're kinda rare. They get a 5.5 out of 10 because I am mostly neutral on them. Number 37. We have finally landed on the notorious zombie. I might take a chance here and say zombies might be one of the most known hostile mobs, or just mob, period. They can be kind of annoying at night, but they aren't that bad. Like other zombie variants, zombies do 3 damage and drop 0 to 2 rotten flesh, an iron ingot, a carrot, or potato. Zombies are kinda cool. They look a lot like Steve, but green. I think it would be really interesting to add an Alex variant in zombies. Nah, but it's a cool thought. Anyhow, I rate zombies a 6.7 out of 10. Number 38. Zombie villagers. When a villager is killed by a zombie in normal mode, it has a 50% chance of turning into a zombie villager. Also, any zombie that spawns has a 5% chance of being a zombie villager. Same as regular zombies, it does 3 damage. I don't think this mob is too annoying. In fact, if you cure them, they give you sick discounts, so not that bad at all. I'll take a discount any day. When killed, they drop 0 to 2 rotten flesh. I think I kinda already went over the rarity, but they're pretty significantly rarer than regular zombies. But you still come across them pretty often. I rate these guys a 7.1 out of 10, because the noises they make freak me out, but I like their noses. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like the style of content, because I very much enjoyed making these videos. Let me know, I will totally make more. Anyway, those are my ratings. Feel free to leave your own in the comments. I would love to see differing opinions. Hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.